My name is Kwame. I'm a filmmaker and voice actor. Yeah, documentary filmmaker and voice actor, and a YouTuber.
And how old are you?
Oh, we should add that too.
Why
no.
not?
Okay,
Right?
I'm 33. Yeah, and I'm from Ghana.
Nice to meet you. I'm Ileen. I'm 29 years old. I'm from Netherlands, but I've been living permanently in Ghana since 2019. I'm a project manager at the Dutch Chamber of Commerce.
We met at my workplace at the time, City FM, and she came to do her master's degree project, as in her thesis.
Yeah, so I worked with the City Breakfast Show, the morning show. So my research was about how they frame certain topics when they talk about it in the morning. I worked every morning. We had to be there at 5:30, and then the show ended at 10, and then Kwame would
My show
take
was
over.
next, so I could see her when she was like, typing out her research. Right, and yeah, we started talking from there.
But I noticed that he played very like cheesy music, but he presents himself as being like tough guy and and I was like, what's with this guy? Like he's being so tough, and then he's playing like James Blunt and John Legend and all these.
Oh, my show is a music show.
Yeah.
It was a music show, so yeah, that was a disconnect. But nobody had actually asked me that question before. So she finally asked me like, why does a guy like you, who's like, all macho with the boys and everything, end up playing such music? And then I laughed, and then I explained to her that that's my job, and then we started talking.
So then he smiled, and I was like, oh.
He can actually smile.
I was like, oh, this is a nice smile.
He can actually smile.
I didn't see that before, and then we started talking, and that didn't stop. I was supposed to do another research. I was supposed to go to East Africa, but then at the time in Burundi it wasn't safe. But the same organization was in Ghana, so I was like, okay, then I'm coming to Ghana, and we.
So 2 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So while she was away, we were actually, texting and WhatsApping. I knew I liked her. I knew I wanted a relationship with her, but then she said that she didn't want to have any relationship on WhatsApp or online because she wasn't sure if she would come back and everything.
We got along, but I didn't want to start it on the internet. I wanted to, have a kind of a foundation and like
be in person,
meet in person. And then when I came back, I was like, okay, now it's gonna start.
Yeah. So we started dating from October.
Yeah. So we said we're going on a date, like a proper date, and if one of us feels like this is not it, that's okay. Like no expectations. Let's see how it goes.
Yeah.
Then went to the cinema. It was really nice, and then here we are. So I actually studied African studies, but I felt that you couldn't really learn Africa from books. I thought that was a weird thing anyway. I mean, how much can you prepare beforehand? Not really. I mean, I knew, of course, I studied Africa as a continent, so I knew about the history, about the things you can get from books. But then when you come here, it's a whole different experience, so it was limited, yeah.
No, I didn't have any. I mean, come on, you see it in the movies. That's the most you get. More, I knew more on pop culture, as in what was available to me on the internet. You've seen movies, you've read stuff, but knowing Dutch people as much as I experienced when I met her, and meeting other friends through her, no, I didn't have any idea what else. Yeah, I hadn't even traveled outside Ghana before till 2017.
Yeah. So you came to Netherlands.
It was too short for me to actually judge. I liked the efficiency. I liked the efficiency. I liked the timeliness. I liked the fact that it was not dusty. I liked the cold. Even though it was summer, it was cooler than here. So I was like, whoa, I can spend a whole day wearing my t-shirt and not sweat, and the sun will be setting like, at 10:30 p.m.
Yeah. The long evenings are really nice.
In the summer, the long evenings are really nice. So
Ghanaians are very warm, so they're very welcoming. I feel like people keep an eye out on each other, even on the street or when you look lost. I mean, I clearly look like a foreigner, so I look lost a lot, but people check in like, are you okay? Where are you going? In Netherlands, people don't really do that anymore.
I struggled a bit with the culture shock, especially with food, for example. I'm used to heavy meals, morning, afternoon, evening. And then, I mean, it wasn't like that there. I mean, unless you cook the previous night and have some for the next morning, you're not gonna have a warm meal in the morning.
Yeah, we eat a lot of bread. So in the morning you could eat a sandwich, then at lunch you eat a sandwich.
That's all we're eating?
Yeah.
Bread? Like how?
Yes, there was culture shock. I mean, in the Netherlands we're very straightforward. While in Ghana I feel people are very polite. They will never say no straight to your face. I use a lot of no. So I had to also get used to that it's better to say, I'm okay, I'm fine, thank you so much. The please is very, could you please do this, could you please do that? And we sometimes still struggle with that because everything I say I first have to think in Dutch and then I'm translating it to English. But some things you say in Dutch are quite rude. Like, it's not rude in our language, but then when you translate it to English, it's a bit like an order. I enjoy almost all the foods. Only the kenke, I wouldn't crave it, but if it's served or if it's somewhere, I will eat it. And also the way how you eat it, like people really had to teach me with the fufu and, trying things out. Now I really enjoy fufu and yeah, it comes naturally to me. So that's really nice, yeah.
I actually prefer your direct, that I know what you're thinking and very specific. I'm not used to non-confrontational, passive-aggressive type thing. So I like the directness, so it wasn't a problem for me at all.
I don't think it's generally so accepted for women to openly ask questions to their husband or really question, the authority thing in Ghana is quite a big thing. And also the gender roles are still quite strong in Ghana, while in Netherlands is quite horizontal. So sometimes I struggle with that a bit when men are very authoritative.
Authoritative,
over me. I find it a bit hard, but Dutch people don't like authority in general, so maybe it's not me.
Maybe they can just for a Ghanaian they could relax a bit. I mean, for somebody who's very I'm not somebody who relaxes easy. For me to say that some people should relax, then it means that they're really task oriented, because when even though I'm also task oriented, when I'm going to work, for example, as a documentary filmmaker, and I'm going to talk to the people, I would want them to feel comfortable. Let's have a conversation. I want that by the time you leave the conversation or you leave, we're friends, not just subject versus filmmaker. And they can tolerate the circumstance. You can work together cordially and everything without being friends.
Yeah.
From where I'm coming from, you feel used. You only came in to get what you want.
Yeah.
Where was the warmth? Where was the human? Where was the connection?
So in Netherlands, we're more task-oriented. And we also really like to plan out our days. So in the morning, you already know your whole day. Like in Netherlands, you're planning so much. Sometimes you miss out on the living a bit. The living as in going with the flow. Something unexpected happens. You turn up somewhere else that you thought you would. So that I definitely really enjoy in Ghana and would like the Dutch in the Netherlands to relax a little bit more. So because you're missing out on the unexpected things, and those are the things that make life a bit more memorable. I mean, I like the people, so for me that really works. I just feel that how the country is and a lot of things are not working, and sometimes that makes me sad because I feel that Ghanaians deserve better. You deserve good roads, you deserve the best education, you deserve
going
running
political.
water,
Oh my God, she's going
electricity
political.
all the time.
They will come for you.
No, but people always ask how do you find Ghana? I say Ghana is amazing, the people are amazing. There's so many bright, creative, entrepreneurial people here. but like the basics are not there, and sometimes that makes me really sad. And if I could change something, that would be that. Like, you deserve better. Don't forget that you deserve better, because this is not what it's supposed to be. So if I could change that, yes. If it was up to me, I would do that.
I do see myself living in the Netherlands one day. Because, like I was saying before, when I first got there, I felt like I could live here, because I enjoyed the things that mean a lot to me here that frustrates me, mean a lot to me there that frustrates me here. Some things for creatives and everything, that, you know, there's a lot of support for creatives, and yeah, the general quality of, if we're gonna have kids as well, education and all that. So I do see myself, those things I do see myself, you know, wanting for my future and the kids. So yeah, I do see myself living there.
Forever is a long time.
Yeah.
But I do really enjoy it here. It feels like home. I'm very grateful for that. And I also like that he's open to the Netherlands, that it's not like a definite no, because that will be difficult for me, because in the end it is my motherland. So maybe at some point I would want to be closer to family, or yeah, friends as well. For now, I'm still, Kwame was very eager to go to the Netherlands.
Until our last visit. So all the times that I've been going, I mean, it's holidays, so I wasn't really being critical about, you know, certain things. And all the times that we had been going as well, I was still working in corporate. But now, for the last 2 years, I've been freelancing. So now I was looking at how I would survive as a freelancer, as a filmmaker and everything. So yes, it's good that I'm able to just up and leave, because I'm not tied to any organization. But it would be stupid on my side, or like to just up and leave without knowing, I mean, if you go there, how the system works for you or against you, or how to get around it, who to, you know, work with and who not to work with, and how to balance those things.
I think we'll end up in Netherlands at some point, but I know how it feels to start somewhere from scratch, and it's tough. I literally didn't know anybody in Ghana, and then you're off on your own. So you will literally run into yourself and your own expectations,
yeah.
The identity you used to have and the identity you have here. Because if everything is like stripped down, what do you still have left? Like, who are you then when you start over fresh? So I think, yes, we want to go to Netherlands at some point, but we don't want to go on a whim, like, oh, let's just pack up and leave.
Yeah.
We kind of want to
plan it properly,
prepare at least, so you know a little bit, so he knows what to expect. Maybe already, you know, if we go back and forth a bit before that, he already has some few people he can work with
or call on, and you know, yeah. So it's more
a process.
Yeah, it's a process.
I mean, it's very personal, of course, but I would say communication is very important. So things that are naturally, or yeah, things that are naturally for me might be very weird to him. So, and you immediately start assuming things, right? So he does something, and then I'm like, why would you do that like that? But then if you don't ask,
if you don't speak to the person, you wouldn't know what is
happening.
Yeah.
So it's good to communicate and
not assume things.
Not assume. Yeah. But I think that's also when you date somebody from your own culture. It's always good to ask questions, stay curious, stay respectful, but still trying to. Sometimes I ask questions like, "But why?" Because I want to understand. I really
and she
want
asks
to
too
understand.
many whys. I'm like, bro. I think what I'll add to it is, I think first and foremost, the baseline is being open-minded. If you're going to cross culture, drop everything you think you know. You don't know what you think you know, because from where you grew up, it's not the same. The person is also coming with their own cultural differences, so it's not the same. And if you are somebody who is stuck with, this is what I know and I'm not flinching, I'm not moving for the next person, you can't cross like cultural, like, you know, marriage. And even in the same culture, I think generally, if you want to be with anybody, you have to be open-minded, because even if you're in the same culture, everybody was brought up in a different home. Some people sometimes would ask me, like, jokingly, I don't know if it's jokingly or they're serious, like how do I also get a European woman? I'm like, what do you mean, how do I also get a European woman? Like, it's not like they're someplace that, you know. And then sometimes they also ask, like, how are they? How do you deal with them? Because some of them will make a statement like, because media, like, you know, I've heard that they are this, they are that, they're that.
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, you cannot be with anybody in general if you're still stuck with gender roles in your mind that I'm the guy, what I say goes. Or you feel emasculated by the fact that maybe your partner, who may be European, earns more than you. And then you think that she earns more than you, but you should control the money. All these things that, you know, some men feel that they're entitled to, that entitlement in their head and everything. You can't date outside your race.
But I do think because we're also physically different, that you have to also deal with a lot of the reactions from the outside world. On, like, for what Kwame said, like, how do you deal with white women? Like, what kind of question is that in the first place?
Yeah, how are they? What do you mean, how are they like?
Yeah, people have certain images, right, of this place, of Africa, as like Africa is not a country, but a lot of people think so. Like, there's a lot of stereotypes there.
Yeah.
So that for me, has also been a journey to your identity is more than the person you are, right? I'm a white woman, I'm European, I have a certain income, so it all layers your relationship. Same for Kwame, he's black, he's Ghanaian, he's a man. So you have to deal with that because the outside world will react to these physical things. Yeah. And that it can be tough, but what can you do, yeah?
You just type Osei Kwame, or she'll link it in the description below. And check out our videos, especially the videos where we sit and talk. Don't watch the ones that I'm alone. Our conversations we have, like our experiences, a bit of travel sometimes. I started the channel to show what I can do as a documentary filmmaker. But for this channel, which the agenda people are trying to turn into a couple channel, yes, Osei Kwame is now Osei Kwame and Ileen. It was also an experiment to, like, hold myself to the discipline of doing something for long. And yeah, 2 years later, still running, so.
Yeah, and he convinced me to do the videos with him. No, but so for me, this is very uncomfortable, like being in front of a camera. I'm more a background person, so I like to be the producer or the project manager, you know, putting everybody in place. But for me, the motivation is we are showing up, like, to show that we exist, like this intercultural couple exists. And it's going really well because like people often look at the norm, but we are also the norm, even though we are different. So I think
we are the norm, but just different. So
yeah, I think it's important to express ourselves and show people we exist. You can thrive in an intercultural, interracial relationship, and that's my motivation to jump in on the videos and
take over.
Not take over, but at least
take
show
over.
our authentic self, because why keep it small? Like, we are here, why should we keep small just because we are different? No, we should make it big, because 50 years ago this, or maybe 100 years ago, this wouldn't be able to exist. Yeah. Maybe with our channel we can address a little bit of that, or at least show people, you know,
what can
happen. Work.
Yeah.
It works intercultural, it works interracial.
Yeah, so from 2022, Kwame and Ileen.
We'll see about that.
Yeah, we'll see about that.